Hello and welcome to the Homemade Songwriter. I'm Matt, and today I want to show you my new guitar and tell you a little bit about the story behind it. So you might have seen the short that I posted recently called I Got a New Guitar. That's the guitar I'm talking about in this video. It's the newest one in my collection and I'm in love with it. So here's the story. So the other day I went to a guitar shop here in Austin called Austin Vintage Guitar. I think they've been around a long time. They seem to carry a lot of old, interesting vintage guitars as well as some new guitars, but everything they have there is just really nice. They don't really carry any starter guitars. Seems to be your higher quality guitars that are set up nicely. They keep them in tune, just beautiful guitars. So I went there just to play some new guitars and maybe get some inspiration by playing a song that is different than mine, because at this point I'd already tried all the guitars at my local guitar center and they were all just bad. Just the oldest strings you can imagine, all out of tune, just no good. I wanted to play on some nicer guitars and really get inspired. But let me make it very clear that I had no intention of buying a guitar that day. I was just going to play. But anyway, I went into the store, went to the acoustic room and started playing around. I will say that I do have, like I think every guitarist does, a list running in my mind of this is the next kind of guitar that's on my list to get. And for me, the top of that list at the moment was like a dreadnought guitar, because it's different style than what I have now with my triple O. A little beefier, a little different sound, and I think the two guitars, if I recorded them and played them together, would complement each other nicely. So I started playing all the dreadnoughts. They had some old Martins, they had some Collings, they had really old Gibsons, and then I came across this guitar. Now from across the room, I thought it was a Martin. It's got a Martin headstock. The writing on the headstock looked like it said Martin and Company. The shape was what I'd seen and recognized in most Martins. So I picked it up and began to play it. Played around on it for a long time because it was very easy to play. It had a lot of character to it. It's a 1978, so it's got little dings and scratches kind of all over the place, but that's kind of to be expected. But it just played beautifully. It was really fun to play and very easy to play. In fact, I kept finding myself playing it and then feeling guilty, like I need to try a different guitar. I don't want to play one guitar the whole time I'm here, so I'd get a new guitar, play it for a couple seconds and be like, I want to play that other guitar again. For the couple hours I was there, I played this guitar for the majority of the time. Again, I had no intention of buying a guitar, but I sent my wife a picture. She asked me, "Are you going to buy it?" Yes. I am going to buy this guitar. I didn't think that was an option, but yes, I am going to buy this new guitar. And here it is. Beautiful. Rosewood back and sides. But here's where things get interesting. This is not a Martin. You can see here right on the headstock, that says Takamine and Company. But that's definitely a Martin style headstock. The Takamine headstock looks a lot more like this with the pointed top. So after a little bit of research, this is what I found out. So this is a 1978 Takamine. It's an F370S. And the Takamines from that era in the 70s are what's commonly known as lawsuit era guitars. And here's why. I kind of pieced this information from a couple YouTube videos and some articles, so if you have more information, then feel free to fill in the holes or correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But in the 70s, Takamine was building some guitars, and they purchased a shop that was building Martin guitars, and along with that, they found themselves in possession of the plans for Martin guitars. So for about 10 years, they were making guitars that were basically Martins. I'm not sure if the bracing and all that stuff is the exact same as a Martin. I sort of doubt it. But the headstock design, the way the writing is on top of the headstock, a lot of the main features are Martin style features. So much so that Martin ended up sending them a cease and desist. So there's never actually a lawsuit. It never went to court. There was just a cease and desist from Martin saying, hey, you got to stop. You're copying our guitars. That's our headstock shape. That's our writing, etc., etc. So that's good news for me, because when I play this, it feels sort of like I'm playing a Martin. It plays really well. It sounds great, but it doesn't come with the Martin price tag. This is similar to like a Martin D28 style. I would be paying somewhere in the ballpark of $3,000 to $6,000, which for me right now is not what I want to be paying for another guitar. Right now, I'm kind of in the mindset of I want more gear, but I don't want to pay an arm and a leg for it, because I want the different sounds. I want a triple O sounding guitar. I want a dreadnought style guitar, maybe a parlor guitar. But rather than waiting 10 years to save up the money to buy the best of the best, if I can find a really good playing one, a really good feeling one that sounds good to me for cheaper, then I'm going to go for it, because then I have the variety of sounds and I can make the music I want to make now rather than waiting. Now, there are extreme Martin enthusiasts who would say that this guitar sounds nothing at all like a Martin. You know, their Martin sounds way better, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm not here to argue that. All I'm saying is this is, to me, plays wonderful. It sounds great, and I got the Martin style guitar that I wanted for a lot less. I'm very happy with it. I also love the story. I love that I own a lawsuit era guitar. I think that's a really interesting piece of history. But yeah, that's the new guitar I have, so look forward to seeing that in future videos and recordings. I have yet to write my first song on it, so I'll probably do that on this channel. I'm excited to add another guitar to the arsenal, another sound, another instrument that's inspiring and sounds different and feels different in my hands. Out of this guitar, there'll be birthed new songs that I wouldn't have written on my old guitar. If you're someone who's holding out to buy gear because you want to get the best and the most expensive piece of gear, maybe don't do that. Maybe instead of spending $2,000 on one guitar, spend $1,000 on two guitars. Then you have 2 times the variation of sounds, and you can make more music now. Because if I spend the next 5 years saving up to get a really good guitar, in the meantime, I'm not making music. By the time I get that nice piece of gear, I'm not going to be any better at music. I want to keep writing, keep recording, keep getting better at those skills now. If I can get a bunch of new input, of new inspiration on a smaller budget, then I'm going to go for that. At least that's the camp I'm landing in right now. I might change my ideology on that in a couple years. And I will say, when I was debating whether or not to get this guitar, I felt a lot of back and forth internally because I felt shame of, well, it's not really a Martin. I want to get a Martin. You know, that brand, one, is important to me. I like Martin guitars, but you know, would people respect me less if I have a Takamine than a Martin? And at the end of the day, who cares? To me, the guitar sounds and plays and feels good. So why should I care what brand is on the headstock? My encouragement to you is to find instruments that are inspiring to you. Instruments that you like the look of them, you like the feel of them, they sound good, they feel good in your hands. Because if it's inspiring to you, then you're going to be able to write music on it. You could spend $50,000 on a guitar that everybody would look at you and say, wow, that's a cool guitar, you made a good decision, but it may not be inspiring to you. It may not sound good to you. So don't worry about the brand of guitar, worry about the songs coming out of it. At the end of the day, this channel is all about songwriting. We love songwriting, we want to help you do it better. So with that in mind, we have some free resources in the description. There's some songwriting prompts that are free for you, as well as a chord progression cheat sheet that'll get you writing. So feel free to download those. I think they'll be a big help to you. But that's it for this one. Keep writing, and we'll see you in the next one.